If I were to tell you that you actually already had everything that you desire, like right now in the present moment, you actually have everything that you want. Like if it's $30 million or it's a new relationship, or it's to be healthy, it's to be fit, to have a new house, a new car, whatever it is, you actually have those things right now. You actually already have those because I am that I am. You are all consciousness. Creation is already finished. And when you can just step into, I'm going to step forward. When you can just step into this version of yourself that already has that and truly believes that, understands that I am that I am, that I'm living in a simulation, that I am all that is. Like Moses said, tell them that I am sent you. I am that I am. You are I am that I am. You are it. Like my grandfather used to tell me. My grandfather used to tell me, it was kind of funny, but he used to come up to me and he would say, "Tag, you're it." And I would always get confused. And it was kind of a spooky thing until I really figured out how it all operated, because I knew the stuff that he was teaching, and I had fear towards it at first when I was first getting into it. I was like, oh my gosh, my world's not real. It's kind of scary. Is there people after me? But really it's like me creating everything. But he never had that fear. He never had anything. He would just say, "Tag, you're it." And what that means is, it's like if I were to say, "Tag, you're it." You're watching this video right now. Tag, you're it. You are it. You are all there is. You are all that I am. You are I am. Okay? So you are all consciousness. So tag, you're it. So you are the one. You are, every single one of you in here watching this video is it. You are it. You are consciousness. And when you can connect yourself to the feeling that creation is finished and that you are everything, actually, everything is you. I am that I am. Then you can kind of generate this new idea in your mind to where you consent to new things being true, and it helps you manifest things much more effortlessly. Like if you could just stop yourself throughout the day, momentarily, and say, I am that I am. I am all there is. Everything is me. I am everything. I am consciousness. I am the simulation. I can control everything and manipulate it through my imaginal, what I consent to being true, by changing my experiences and beliefs of what I consent to being true of my world. And you know that creation is actually finished. And I want to explain a little bit about that. Like creation, like people ask me, so if the past isn't real, then why can't I change it? Or, I'm a little bit confused about the past. And I try to explain it in this way. The human mind that you consent to being true, that you deal with every single day, and how you operate in your world, is three-dimensional, okay? Unless you go into flow state, unless you go into a deep meditation, and then you can enter fourth dimension or fifth dimension. You can pass through the different dimensions. But I'm going to give you an example of what time-space actually is, like the fourth dimension time-space. Like if I could see you, like I'm going to teach you about time, the way time exists, and about your world and how it exists. So for example, if I were to know you in the fourth dimension, like if I could see you in the fourth dimension, I would be able to see you from the day you were born till the day you died, all at one time. Like literally the day you were born and the day you died, I'd be able to see it all at one instant. I would be able to see it all. And that's God. That's what the simulation sees, the subconscious sees. Everything's already done. Everything's already finished. That's the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension, consciousness and the subconscious can see your life from the day you were born to the day you died, all at one time. Okay? All in that one moment. All in that one moment it can see you. But there's infinite amount of parallel realities that exist simultaneously. So essentially we're living in movies with an infinite amount of versions of ourselves, and they all finish differently. And that's how you shift, okay? But they're all completed. Every single one of them every single movie is completed. We're just passing through, with our human minds, but really it's already finished. In God's eyes, in the subconscious mind's eyes, everything's already finished, because in the fourth dimension, it is finished. All right, so there's no difference between the past and the future. And it's the only way to change anything is actually in the present moment. That's when you have the power to change and shift into these different movies that exist, on top of one another. They exist simultaneously. parallel to each other. And there's an infinite amount of these different videos or movies that are already completed, where you can live an entirely new life by simply, changing your feeling states, creating, new states of consciousness. That's how you shift in the simulation. But essentially, everything is already finished. And that's what that means. Because in the fourth dimension, we're just passing in the third dimension, we're just passing through the fourth slowly. But really, it's already finished. Everything's already done. But in the movie that we're passing through, towards the end, it finishes it a specific way if you stay in your current state of consciousness. But as you shift to new states of consciousness, you actually changed movies. You changed it. It's like going into a movie theater. Like if you go into a movie theater and you sit there, you know that the movie's already been written, produced, acted in, and it's already done. You're just watching the movie from the beginning to the end. Okay, but the movie's really already done. That's exactly what you're living in now. The simulation is designed that way. Everything that you're experiencing now is already finished. It's just a movie that's already finished. But the tricky and the magical part about this is all the movies, there's an infinite amount of different movies that exist on top of one another. And you can shift to any one of those other movies by simply changing your feeling states, your states of consciousness, and falling asleep with the subconscious, which controls all the simulations, all the parallel realities. And it has to shift you to the other realities that kind of correlate or mirror your current state of consciousness. Because as you increase and raise your states of consciousness to have different things, you have to shift to different worlds in order to receive those things. So that's essentially how it works with the fourth dimension, and the example of it being just a movie. That's all we're living in. It's just a movie. That's all we're living in. It's a movie that's actually already complete. We just can't see that it's complete because we live our lives in the three-dimensional world, and that's the way it was programmed. Because if we lived our life, if you could actually experience things in the fourth dimension, you would see everything all at one time. It would just be like this one thing that you could see, and it would be everything. And that's the way that God sees us. That's the way the subconscious mind sees us. But in the human mind, we're just passing through in the third dimension, which we're passing through slowly in the fourth dimension, passing through, but it's already all completed. And essentially, once you start to understand how all of this stuff works, it really assists you with your manifestation abilities. Like once you truly get a good grasp and feel of how everything works and what's creating what and how to manipulate it, and just know like the underlying cause of everything, that's what really steps your game up with manifestation. And how you could say, you want to know what? This isn't real. I understand it all. Now that once you understand it all, it changes to what you consent to being true of everything. And once you change that, then it changes your concept and your states of consciousness. And then you start believing something different. And that's what shifts you in the multiverse. You start shifting to different worlds when you do that, which still kind of correlates with you'll still see kind of like old remnants of other people, but you're still shifting, and you'll shift back to that world, and you'll shift back to that world, where you have everything that you desire. So it's super fun, and really that's the way you got to look at it, is that life is meant to experience and to live a joyful, happy life and a great experience of life. So if you find that you're stressed out and you're fearing and you have all this stuff going on where you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't like my life, you have to realize that it's actually really amazing. You're just overthinking. You have to be more childlike, realize, and just put yourself in the present moment too. A lot of times if you put yourself back in the present moment, it kind of slows time down to where you can just enjoy the present moment, and it's just wonderful. It's just an amazing feeling to be present and just to be able to have legs to walk with, to be able to see, to hear, to feel, these basic things that we overlook every day. Just the ability just to walk, that's amazing. And smell, and feel the sun on your skin, it's amazing. So just be grateful, be joyful, send love out there to everybody, and just enjoy the present moment. Be in the present. Be in the present, be grateful for what you have, and then, shift your states of consciousness that way. And remember, what you fall asleep with at night, that's what really controls which reality you live in right now. So if you're not happy with the reality you're living in, you have to change who you are as you're going to sleep. You have to see your world in that light that you actually love your life. You love your world. So if you hate your world now, you have to shift into that person that loves their world. Because once you shift into the person that loves their world and they love everything they experience, that's the world that the subconscious mind feels that you're living in, and it has to shift you to that movie. It shifts you to that movie where all of a sudden you love your world. So it's actually a tricky play with things, of how that works. It's actually really cool. There's a butterfly. I'm trying to find Neville out here. I don't see him. I don't know if he left or not, but he's probably eating some fish down low. There's a lot of fish in this pond. All right, guys, I love you. I'm going to leave a link to a sleep meditation in the description. The very first link in the description. It's a free meditation. I don't want your emails. You don't have to give me anything in return. I don't care. Just click on it, download it, use that for your own increase of states of consciousness, and just to be more abundant and to fall asleep with new feeling states and to shift to a new movie. All right, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.